As the 2024 U.S. presidential election approaches its climax, competition is fierce. According to reports from the New York Times, here are the key details of this election. 1. The intense competition is focused on the crucial swing state of Pennsylvania. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are both striving for the state's 19 electoral votes, which could determine who will occupy the White House. 2. Trump appeared fatigued and lacking confidence during his campaign event in North Carolina, reiterating familiar grievances, including complaints about former President Obama and the media. 3. Senator J.D. Vance stated that both he and Trump are superstitious and reluctant to discuss post-election plans in detail. However, he hopes to influence policies on immigration, manufacturing, and technology. 4. Ripped jeans have been in vogue for over 30 years. Once considered a fashion trend, they have now become a staple in fashion, making it difficult for them to disappear entirely. 5. Groups supporting Trump are organizing voter surveillance on the social media platform Telegram, spreading conspiracy theories about election fraud and threatening unrest if Trump does not win. Overall, this election is filled with drama and uncertainty. Regardless of the outcome, the partisan divide and disputes over election legitimacy are likely to persist, leading to further turmoil in the U.S. political landscape. Briefing: Washington Post's election coverage sparks controversy. Summary. 1. The Washington Post's decision not to endorse any candidates in the 2024 presidential election has sparked significant dissatisfaction among readers, reportedly resulting in the loss of hundreds of thousands of subscribers. 2. In contrast, The Guardian, which supports Vice President Kamala Harris, raised over $2 million in donations via email. Other media outlets backing Harris, such as the Philadelphia Inquirer, also gained a substantial number of new subscribers. 3. Bezos, the owner of the Washington Post, has been accused of making this decision for personal interests. This approach has faced widespread criticism from prominent journalists, including Bob Woodward, Carl Bernstein, and Dan Rather. 4. Experts argue that Bezos is unfit to continue as the owner of the Washington Post and should sell the paper as soon as possible. They believe this decision undermines the paper's journalistic independence and credibility. 5. Additionally, the article highlights the role of the tech industry in this election, pointing out that many tech company leaders lack ethical standards and prioritize their own interests. In summary, these articles underscore the controversy surrounding the Washington Post's reporting stance in the 2024 presidential election and the impact of this decision on the paper's reputation and subscription numbers. They also reflect concerns about the tech industry's misconduct during the election, raising worries about media independence and ethical standards. Briefing: Applications and prospects of AI in education. Summary. With the rapid development of AI technology, its applications in the education sector are garnering widespread attention. While some teachers express concerns about the use of AI in the classroom, an increasing number of educational institutions are actively exploring ways to leverage AI to enhance teaching quality and efficiency. The International Schools Partnership, ISP, is a typical example, deploying and testing various AI tools globally to provide personalized teaching support for teachers, thereby helping students achieve a better learning experience. Key points. 1. AI can assist teachers in creating more personalized learning experiences by automatically generating differentiated teaching content and exercises, freeing up more time for teachers to interact with students. 2. ISP is collecting feedback and promoting best practices by deploying and testing AI tools in 11 experimental schools worldwide, providing teachers with user-friendly AI support tools. 3. Successful AI implementation requires strong attention and investment from school leadership, as well as ongoing professional development training for teachers to help them master the use of AI technology. 4. Teachers remain the most valuable resource in the education process, and AI should serve as a tool to support their work rather than replace them. Conclusion. AI technology is bringing new opportunities to the education sector, with the potential to significantly enhance teaching quality and efficiency through personalized learning and automated assistance. ISP's practices demonstrate that only through a strong commitment and systematic advancement of AI applications in education combined with teacher professional development, can AI truly realize its immense potential in the education field, benefiting both teachers and students? Briefing: New trends in the UK political landscape. On November 5, 2024, the UK Conservative Party elected Kemi Badenoch as its new leader, making her the first black leader of the party. This marks a significant shift in the UK political landscape. Badenoch's election reflects the trend of diversification in British politics, yet her policies are heavily infused with Thatcherism. She promises to return to the fundamental principles of the Conservative Party, advocating for a small government, low taxes, and deregulated free market policies. This sharply contrasts with the more interventionist government approach represented by Labour leader Keir Starmer. Meanwhile, Labour's Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves proposed approximately £20 billion in tax increases in the latest budget, aimed at boosting public service investment and curbing the fiscal deficit. This move has shaken financial markets and sparked divisions within the Conservative Party. In summary, British politics is undergoing a significant turning point. Traditional left-right divisions are resurfacing, while emerging political forces continuously challenge the existing framework. Regardless of the future direction, the reshaping of the UK political landscape will undoubtedly have profound implications for the country's socio-economic development. Time Magazine Briefing. November 5, 2024. Overview. This briefing summarizes the core content of multiple articles, providing readers with a comprehensive yet concise information overview. The articles cover various aspects, including tips for using web forms and marketing strategies for Black Friday, highlighting the most valuable information points while maintaining overall structural coherence and logic. Web form usage tips. Ensure all required fields have valid values and correct formats. Provide an option to continue later, allowing users to temporarily leave the form and return to it later. Support users in uploading various common file formats. Provide timely feedback on form submission status, such as submitting or validating. Black Friday marketing strategies. Black Friday is a crucial shopping season for the retail industry, significantly impacting business revenues. Developing targeted marketing strategies is key, not only to attract customers, but also to improve conversion rates. Consider implementing discount offers and limited-time sales to create a shopping atmosphere. Ensure good coordination between online and offline channels to provide customers with a seamless shopping experience. Conclusion. This briefing comprehensively summarizes the core content of multiple articles, highlighting the most valuable information points while maintaining overall structural coherence and logic. Whether discussing web form usage tips or Black Friday marketing strategies, it offers practical reference suggestions for readers. We hope this briefing inspires and assists you. Briefing: Controversy over UK royal family's property investments. Key points. 1. The British royal family owns extensive land and properties, generating substantial income by leasing them to public institutions and charities, yet they do not pay capital gains tax or corporation tax. 2. Investigations reveal that the Duchy of Lancaster, under King Charles III, earns £829,000 annually from leasing warehouses to the NHS, while the Duchy of Cornwall, owned by Prince William, has numerous rental properties suffering from leaks and mold, failing to meet minimum energy efficiency standards. 3. Public opinion suggests that the royal family is exploiting privileges to obtain significant public funds, contradicting the public interest orientation of modern monarchy, potentially damaging the royal family's reputation. 4. Some individuals urge the Labour Party to leverage public dissatisfaction to demand that the royal family pay corporation tax and capital gains tax to reflect their social responsibility. Conclusion: the royal family's vast property investment portfolio has sparked widespread public attention and controversy. This not only undermines the royal family's public image, but also raises questions about their tax exemption policies. Moving forward, how the royal family balances its interests with public interests will be a significant challenge they face. Briefing: the 2024 U.S. presidential election and Pennsylvania's key role. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election nears, Pennsylvania has emerged as a critical battleground. Once an industrial stronghold, it is now the focal point of the race for the White House. The article explores the political landscape of this swing state from multiple angles. 1. Pennsylvania has historically been a key state in determining presidential elections. Trump narrowly won it in 2016, while Biden flipped it in 2020 by a margin of 81,000 votes. In 2024, the two candidates find themselves in a tight race once again. 2. There are clear urban-rural divides within the state, with cities leaning Democratic and rural and industrial areas predominantly supporting Republicans. Both Trump and Harris have conducted extensive campaigning here. 3. A shooting incident involving Trump in Pennsylvania on July 13 caused a stir but ultimately did not change the election dynamics. After Biden's withdrawal, Harris took over as the Democratic candidate. 4. Meanwhile, the Chinese government is closely monitoring the U.S. election results, as a Trump victory could lead to significant increases in tariffs against China, severely impacting the Chinese economy. China is preparing a 200 billion yuan economic stimulus plan, which will also be influenced by the U.S. election results. 5. On another front, Valencia, Spain, experienced severe flooding on October 29, resulting in 210 deaths. Local residents expressed anger over the government's inadequate disaster response, accusing it of slow reaction and insufficient resource allocation. In summary, the 2024 U.S. election, China's economic stimulus policy, and the flood relief efforts in Spain all reflect the complexity and interconnectedness of today's global political and economic landscape. Governments must coordinate better in responding to major events to maximize the protection of public interests. Briefing: Escalating violence in Mexico sparks terrorism debate. On November 5, 2024, Mexico faces a severe security crisis. A series of recent violent incidents, including 2 car bombings in Guanajuato, the beheading of a mayor in Chilpancingo, and the discovery of a dismembered body in Sinaloa, have sparked intense debate over whether to classify these acts as terrorism. Security experts argue that while the actions of drug crime groups do not fully align with the classical definition of terrorism, they exhibit some similar characteristics, such as the use of violence, instilling fear, and conveying messages to the media. Some scholars have proposed the concept of quasi-terrorism, suggesting that these violent acts, despite lacking clear political motives, still have severe psychosocial impacts. This debate extends beyond academia and has sparked fierce political confrontations. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador cautiously denied that these actions constitute terrorism, while opposition parties attempt to leverage these tragedies to criticize the government. Meanwhile, U.S. Republicans have consistently advocated for classifying drug cartels as terrorist organizations to push for tougher anti-crime measures, which may also affect U.S.-Mexico relations. Regardless, the violence crisis in Mexico has transcended mere criminal issues, encompassing broader social, political, and geopolitical dimensions. As the U.S. presidential election approaches, this thorny issue will become a focal point in bilateral relations. Briefing: Süddeutsche Zeitung's investigation team. The investigation team at Süddeutsche Zeitung is committed to protecting information sources and offers various secure reporting channels. 1. Secure Drop System. Access a dedicated URL via the Tor browser to anonymously send files and information. This system, developed by the Freedom of the Press Foundation, stores data on encrypted servers at the newspaper, making it impossible to trace the source of information. 2. Encrypted email. Using PGP encryption technology or services like ProtonMail and Tudnote allows for safer communication with journalists. However, even encrypted content may be traceable back to the sender. 3. Encrypted messaging apps. Signal and Threema provide end-to-end encrypted instant messaging without requiring phone numbers, making them relatively safer. 4. Traditional mail. When sending letters or packages, do not use your real name and try to send them from a post office in a non-residential area. 5. In-person delivery. Materials can be directly delivered to the newspaper's office, handed over to the investigative reporting department. In summary, the Süddeutsche Zeitung investigation team provides various secure and reliable channels for whistleblowers, aiming to maximize the protection of information sources. Regardless of the chosen method, it is essential to conceal personal information to avoid tracking. The newspaper will uphold the highest standards of information security and confidentiality. Briefing: New challenges facing the European automotive industry. 1. The Czech Republic and Italy will call for a postponement of emission-related fines for European car manufacturers at this week's European Council summit, citing a decline in electric vehicle demand. 2. Starting in 2025, car manufacturers will be required to produce vehicles with 15% lower carbon emissions as part of the goal to achieve 100% reduction by 2035. 3. The Czech Minister of Transport believes that next year's targets are unrealistic due to decreased interest in electric vehicles across the EU. 4. The Italian government supports the Czech position, and Germany's Minister of Economy also believes that temporarily halting fines would benefit the entire automotive industry. China's import and export fair sets new records. 1. The 136th Canton Fair in Guangzhou concluded successfully, with the number of overseas buyers reaching a historic high of 253,000 from 214 countries and regions. 2. Buyers from countries participating in the Belt and Road Initiative accounted for over 60%, with buyers from Middle Eastern countries increasing the most, reaching 34,000, a growth of 32.6%. 3. The number of buyers from the US and European countries also saw a significant increase, reaching 54,000, an 8.2% rise. 4. This year's Canton Fair recorded an export transaction intention amounting to $24.95 billion, a 1% increase from the previous session, with Belt and Road countries accounting for more than half. 5. The Canton Fair reflects the growth and strength of China's foreign trade, demonstrating China's determination to expand its openness and provide new development opportunities for the world. Protecting endangered languages. 1. Indonesia is one of the most linguistically diverse countries in the world, with over 700 indigenous languages. 2. Among them, the CIA language is spoken by only 93,000 people on Bhutan Island and lacks a writing system. 3. A South Korean teacher is using the Hangul script to teach the CIA language to protect this endangered language. 4. The Indonesian government is revising preschool education laws to expand kindergarten enrollment, increasing childcare services for children. In summary, this briefing covers the new challenges facing the European automotive industry, record achievements at China's import and export fair, and Indonesia's efforts to protect endangered languages, highlighting the most valuable information points while succinctly summarizing the article's overall content. Briefing: Political dynamics in Japan. 1. Political dynamics. Former Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries Takuro Ito will be reappointed as the new minister, succeeding Taro Kono, who lost his seat in the House of Representatives and announced his resignation. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's cabinet support rate has significantly dropped following the House of Representatives election, but over 60% of voters believe he should not resign. The Democratic Party for the People made significant progress in the election and is now being courted by both the ruling and opposition parties. 2. Economic dynamics. A handmade soap shop in Kobe, Sunday Soap, focuses on providing high-quality handmade personal care products and is well loved by customers. The shop is run by former Procter & Gamble researcher Kozo Tanaka, who is dedicated to helping consumers find the highest quality products that suit them best. 3. Technological development. Japan successfully launched its fourth H-3 rocket, placing the Defense Communication Satellite (SICA-3) into geostationary orbit. Tokyo Electric Power Company, the operator of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, has removed a small amount of melted fuel debris from reactor No. 2's containment vessel, marking the first time the company has sampled from a melted reactor. In summary, this briefing covers significant developments in Japan's political, economic, and technological sectors, highlighting the most valuable information points while succinctly summarizing the article's overall content, achieving a balance in the requirements. Briefing: Summary of multiple articles. The 2024 U.S. presidential election is approaching, with former President Trump hosting a campaign watch party at the Palm Beach County Convention Center in Florida. This highly anticipated historical moment will see Trump, his family, campaign team, and aides in attendance. Local police have prepared stringent security measures to prevent potential unrest. Meanwhile, in North Carolina, Trump again referenced the fictional character Hannibal Lecter from the film The Silence of the Lambs, causing confusion among the audience. In Australia, Hermes, the owner of the Sydney Metropolitan Hotel Group, is embroiled in a $124 million dispute with the Sydney Metro over land acquisition value. Additionally, the issue of federal lawmakers' airline lounge memberships has sparked widespread discussion, with some independent lawmakers opting out. Notably, a recent landmark ruling by the Victoria State Court in Australia recognized common law lawsuits for invasion of privacy, paving the way for upcoming federal privacy law reforms. In summary, these articles cover various hot topics, including the U.S. election, infrastructure development in Australia, lawmakers' privileges, and privacy protection, reflecting significant dynamics in the current political, economic, and social landscape. Briefing: 2024 U.S. Presidential Election Update. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election enters its final stages, Democratic candidate Kamala Harris and Republican candidate Donald Trump are fiercely competing. According to the Globe and Mail, here are the latest developments and key information regarding this election. 1. Latest developments. Harris made an unexpected appearance on Saturday Night Live, interacting with the actress portraying her, Maya Rudolph, adding drama to the campaign. Harris and Trump are competing in North Carolina for votes in this crucial swing state. Delays in vote counting in Warren, Michigan, have raised concerns that Trump may declare victory on election night. 2. Key information points. The National Democratic Party and the Republican Party are nearly even nationwide, with the key focus on swing state votes. Harris faces challenges in winning over Arab American voters and working-class voters. Trump continues to spread rumors of election fraud from 2020 and threatens to purge law enforcement. Both parties describe this election as a life-and-death struggle for democracy. 3. Conclusion. The U.S. presidential election has reached a boiling point, with Democratic and Republican candidates fiercely competing. The key lies in which side can mobilize more supporters to vote and how to win votes in crucial swing states. Regardless of the outcome, this election will profoundly impact the political direction of the U.S. and the global landscape over the next 4 years. Briefing: Australia prepares for challenge against India. November 5, 2024. Key information. 1. Former Australian captain Ponting believes that current A-team captain Max Winnie is more likely to debut in the upcoming test match against India than young player Constance, who performed poorly in a recent informal test match, while Max Winnie showed relatively better form. 2. After India's recent 3-0 defeat to New Zealand, Captain Rohit Sharma stated that players need to adjust their mindset and prepare for the challenging tour of Australia. India's batting capabilities were severely exposed at home, and they now need to adapt to the pace and bounce of Australian pitches. 3. To this end, the Indian team will conduct 3 days of simulated training upon arriving in Australia, maximizing this time to prepare for the first test match. Rohit emphasized the importance of creating a comfortable environment for young players who have not yet experienced test matches in Australia, ensuring they are not overwhelmed by opponents and the venue. Conclusion: the Australian team is preparing for the upcoming test match against India, with Max Winnie likely to secure a starting position. Meanwhile, the Indian team needs to adjust its mindset, adapt to the characteristics of Australian pitches, and create a comfortable environment for young players to tackle this challenging away tour. Briefing: South Korean insurance fraud case exposed. Approximately 270 individuals are suspected of participating in insurance fraud, collectively defrauding around 1 billion won in payouts. A doctor performed cosmetic surgeries, such as thread lifts and filler injections, at their clinic and fabricated records to claim insurance payouts. The doctor also leveraged television appearances and social media to increase visibility and attract more fake patients. The doctor collaborated with about 10 intermediaries, promising insurance payouts to lure patients. Singaporean athletes excel at Japan Open. Young athletes from Singapore participated in the Japan Open held in Inazawa from November 1st to 4th. The women's team won the championship, while the men's team secured the runner-up position. Singaporean athletes also achieved several excellent results in individual events, including second place in the women's all-around and third place in the women's doubles. NFL players suffer serious injuries. Tennessee Titans safety Quindell Diggs is out for the season and requires foot surgery. Center Lloyd Cushenberry is also out for the season due to an Achilles tendon injury. Both players have been confirmed to be sidelined for an extended period and are likely to be placed on the injured reserve list. School safety regulations spark controversy. A male teacher in Florida expressed unease about the school's requirement for teachers to keep classroom doors locked at all times. Previously, teachers were instructed to keep classroom doors open to ensure student safety. The new regulation may cause discomfort for students, especially girls, when alone. The school administration has failed to provide a clear explanation for this regulation. In summary, these articles address various hot topics, including insurance fraud, sports events, professional sports injuries, and school safety, reflecting the various challenges faced by society today. The content is rich, and the briefing aims to highlight the most valuable information points while maintaining clarity and coherence throughout.